is only war.
What is up, gents? 40k Dirtbags here. We got a Battle Report GT video series coming up for you guys. This is going to be the first part of the series. We're going to go over the list, what we liked, didn't like, and how we would improve in the tournament setting. There was a lot that we learned from running LVO this year, especially with Death Guard and the current meta. A lot has changed since Nova and LSO. So we're going to get into everything in this video that you guys need to know. This is going to be a 5-part series. One of our games was actually streamed on Wargames Live with Joe. So you guys can head over there and check that out on day 1. That was our 3rd game. But we're going to go over 5 video series with this for LVO. Just kind of go over a recap series. But there's going to be the list review, so that way you guys, if you guys want, you can fast forward to the actual game. But it's going to be the beginning of every video, so you guys can kind of like see what we did, what we can improve on, and stuff like that. So let's get into the list. We got, that's the overlay. Let's go over the display. So with our list, we didn't change it up from the last Nova that we won. It came in 3rd place at Nova Open, which was awesome to see. That was with Challenger cards. Challenger cards went away. Points across the board kind of went up since Nova. And this was the 2nd GT that I was in that had the points increased, but a lot of people kind of see Death Guard now for where it is. So a lot of people have more experience with it. They know how to kind of like counter it and screen out for the Death Shroud specifically. So let's get into the list that we ran. So this was, again, it's kind of the same exact list that we did at Nova. Nova, we did change up the Plague Marines prior, so we took out the Plague Marines, and for Nova we added 2 Mythic Blade Haulers, and that performed really well. I actually fell in love with the Mythic Blade Haulers after Nova, so we kept them in the list. I didn't have a ton of practice going into LVO with life and vacation, all that stuff, but with this we kind of kept everything the same. It's Virulent Victorum, which is the -1 damage, sticky objective. Anything you have sticky objectives in your detachment rules is key. When you're playing Death Guard, the only 2 detachments are this one and the Demon Ally one. So there's the only 2 ways to get sticky objectives, and I think the Demon Ally one we might be switching towards Worlds, because we have to practice for Worlds coming up in November. So a lot of this preparation the next couple of weeks is going to be finishing off the series or the season with Death Guard to try and keep or stay at that #1 spot for Death Guard. That is the goal this year for the Dirtbag Nation, and that's what we're trying to get to. So, first off, we have the Demon Prince of Nurgle. This guy should be in every single list besides the Demon Detachment list. The Demon Detachment list, there's no Death Guard stratagems besides 1. So, him using his free strat like every single turn is going to be really tricky, because it's only 1 strat that you can be using his free strat on. So, you don't really need him in that list. But this list, you can use it for everything. So, in this list, he's basically a mini Morty. He's got the Revolting Regeneration, which is the 5-up Feel No Pain. So he's a 2-up, 4-up, 5-up Feel No Pain. Toughness 12 for some reason. He's got Lone Up within 3 inches of infantry unit, so he can kind of camp objectives or be super cautious the first couple turns. And he actually hits like a truck. 7 attacks, 7-2-3, and then 14 attacks sweep AP1, which is pretty sick. 2 Lord of Contagions. We took out the enhancements right before Nova because we had to reduce points. So these guys are just basic Lord of Contagions. They get back up on a 2+. They give sustain and lethal to the unit. So they are really hard hitting and buff up the unit so much. So we have 2 units of them. We have Mortarion. Mortarion is probably going to be out after this series. So he was super fun while he lasted. Now with the current meta and kind of going in for turn 2, we're going to have to try and veer away from Mortarion. I know he's a bully and a beat stick, but if you can block the deep strikes for the Death Shroud and you can have really high shooting tanks, I can't bring him out till turn 2 or turn 3 anyway. So we're going to start testing without our Mortarion. But in this list, the Mortarion is basically made to be turn 2, here's my whole army, can you deal with it? And if you can't, I win. If you don't, if you can, it's going to be a slow grind. If you can't, then I basically win by turn 3. Then we have the Tallyman. That extra CP comes in clutch a lot of the times. There's a lot of good strats that we have in this attachment, and there's a 2 CP strat. There's two CP strats. There's one to extend the range of the Contagion, which comes in every once in a while, and then the -1 damage, which happens any phase. So you're going to be spending a lot of CP. So having Tallyman in the list blocks out the backfield, make it sticky, move back, block out 9 inches. That's kind of his whole goal every single turn. 2 spawn, once I added 2 spawn, it's hard to make a list without 2 spawn. I think the scout 6, you can have 1 kind of on the bottom objective, so that way they can scout and try and get that tempting target turn 1, or you could have 1 in the center, so that way they could be your turn 1 area denial, cleanse, locust, all that stuff. So 2 spawn, having 2 options kind of spread out and not care if 1 dies, you still have another one to spread contagion. Super clutch. Having 1 every single list, key, but having 2 is just really, really good. 2 Death Shroud, led by the 2 Lord of Contagions, so they're still like really good in every list, but they're expensive. They're 280 points now. They went up, what, 40 points? So 20 here, 20 for Lord of Contagion. So them being really expensive, they have to get their points back. So if you're screening out with like a 70 to 90 point unit, they're doing their job by screening you out, and now you have to wait or have units to kill that screen, which again is what we learned throughout LVO. But they're really expensive now. Again, they're still really good. It's just this list specifically, I have to take out kind of Mortarion to add other units to kind of kill the screens so the Death Shroud can come down. So that's what we'll talk about at the end of the series. But we have 2 heavy blight launchers. They're still, 36-inch range, 10-2-3, D6 plus 2 blast, really good shots. 2 of the mythic blight haulers, again, anti-killing tank vehicles. They're so freaking good. +1 hit, +1 wound. And then the boxwalker. So 3 units of 10 boxwalkers. 1 to screen out your home field, 1 in the top left corner, and 1 in the center. That's basically how you're going to be deploying almost every single game. So that is the list. Nothing really changed since Nova, but a lot is going to change after this this LVO. So that's the list, guys. We'll get into the sponsors really quick, and then we'll get into the LVO game 1 through game 6 for you guys. All right, gents, thanks for clicking on the video. If you guys want to support the channel, go over some coaching options. Wait towards the end of the video. We'll go over all of this merch and the Patreon. But guys, I appreciate it, and let's go Dirtbag Nation. All right, guys, game 1. This is just a quick picture. This is me, Kivo, and Dan. Dan actually went to the Shadow Round. So he was the guy running T-Suns, 30 Terminators, like a madman. We got to hang out with him all weekend. He was on a room, especially with another guy, Dave. But yeah, super fun time, like just hanging out, drinking beers. This was the ice bar. We kind of like had a beer every single time we walked by. So no matter what, if we were going to the room, going to the GT, like we literally always stopped there, just have a beer. So really cool time. And then this was the venue. So shout out to FLG to actually setting up an entire venue like this. Look at these tables. Every single table is like 5 to 6 feet apart from each other. Like this is a 40k GT convention type setting right here. Look at this. This is just awesome. So if you guys are interested in LVO, they're probably gonna have it here again next year. This is the convention center in Las Vegas. Who knows if they're gonna start doing this for every single FLG event, but you're not cramped. You don't have to run around like a mile to get to the other side of the table. Every single table is exactly like this. So again, super awesome time. FLG is definitely stepping up their game. So just wanted to give them a quick shout out. And this is our list. I recorded all the videos because I wanted to do kind of like shorts. So I'm going to add these to the shorts on the YouTube channel. But this is our first matchup, guys. We got Black Templar versus Death Guard, game 1, take and hold. Every single day or every single map on day 1 is hammer and anvil, so it's going long ways or sideways. Every single objective is in the center, and then you have your center one 10 inches up and 22 inches in. So this is the deployment. He's got his list. Let's take a picture. He's got this thing in reserves, the big tank with a shit ton of guns. He's got JPI in reserves, 2 6-man of the blade guards with the 2 characters each. They're in both of the transports. And he's got 1 transport all the way back here, 1 of the scout guys right here. He's got the scouts up front. These guys, I think, do also have scout. So they're going to go behind this little wall in a little bit. He's got the character, which gives I think, sustain or an extra shot and buffs the tanks significantly. This guy has the enhancement where you can target a vehicle and it can fall back and shoot, which is also really good. He's got the Blade Champion right there. 2 Vindicators, which are kind of nuts. One of them should be in reserves. And I believe that is it. So this is his deployment. This is our deployment. For us, we actually tested out putting the Tallyman up here in this corner instead of our bottom corner. So that way he can kind of block out 9 inches in the top here. And then we have our other guys kind of blocking out down here while making this sticky. So I have the Demon Prince right here within 3 inches of these infantry models. These guys are 9 inches away from this scout because he was able to deploy first. So we put these guys right in the center. And then we had Morty right here because all of his tanks are back here. So I put Morty down last, so none of his tanks could actually see Morty. So he's pretty safe right there on the line. Demon Prince lone up, this guy right behind Morty. Spawner gets to move up, probably diagonal if I go first. The other spawner right here, these guys are blocking out here in case I have to run out to this objective. Vehicle, and then we have one one Mythic Blight Hauler in reserves, as well as the 2 Death Shroud. And that's our deployment. We end up going first. Now, you could look at his deployment. I think what he messed up was Vindicators probably could have been one more towards like this way, so that way he can move up, probably just up to this and just camp at this point. The other one is fine where it is, but then this guy could be kind of like all the way up at this line right here. So the only vehicles I have are these 2 right here. So if they hop out, I can have this angle. And if this guy hops out, I can have this angle. But if he puts his tank like right here, I don't think I can get to it at all. So I'm not going to stick out Morty, obviously. I'm barely going to stick out this guy. These 2 can't get there. So if he puts his tank down right here, he basically owns most of this because he's got the Blade Champs inside the Blade Company. So they can just fucking yeet out and kill whatever's in the center. And then the tank can kind of just like either move this way or move up into the ruin and then shoot anything on this side. So I think putting this guy all the way in the back was not the best call. Him being up here definitely was key. Or replace this with a Vindicator up here, because T11. This thing I think is T11 or T12. And yeah, so that's I think the only difference. I would have put these guys. And these guys maybe here to scout up in the little corner, but he needs to screen out the backfield. So that's probably why he put those guys there. So they can screen up turn 1 or screen back if you go second. So we go first. Death Guard is going first, which on this map is definitely good just because you can kind of like push forward and get threat on the center objectives. So layout 1 is all day 1 as well. He has his little infiltrating guy right there, which I can't really get to. I don't want to commit myself into getting anywhere near him. Demon Prince runs up to here. He's now 8 inches away from the point, so that way if I need to move him up next turn to do something, I can. Same with this guy. This guy's 5 inches away from here to there. So same thing if I can move up and cleanse. That's why he is there. These guys scooch up behind the walls so they're not being shot. These guys scout in up, and then they move up and charge. He has his assassin, which I forgot this is in the list. The assassin is there. If the assassin is within 3 inches of a enemy unit, it can't be picked up. So that was also another mistake by the assassin. So the assassin's here. The assassin should probably be back here. So it screens out kind of this part or back here. So it screens out this part and then you can pick her up. So assassin being here doesn't really do anything besides the Vect, and I'm not really going to do anything turn 1 with the Vect. So assassin being there was not good. And let's get into this. So I charge, kill the scouts. Once the scouts are dead, I'm holding this home objective and I stay within 3 inches of this assassin so it can't be picked up. So next turn he has to just move her or do something with her to try and keep her alive. Turn 1 we get Call the Horde, which I can't do, Bring It Down, which I can't really do, and Recover Assets. So we scooch up the spawn up to here just to kind of toe the point as little as I possibly can. So he has to throw something on this point to stop me, or else I make it sticky. This guy scooches up to get line of sight going this way or this way. This guy scooches up again to get line of sight going this way, or if I move up, go this way. Morty scooches up. We're basically in such a good position right now that he really has a tough time to figure out what the hell he's going to commit to stop me from getting points in the center. So these guys are back here. They were under the terrain, but now they're up top. because I was like, hey, do you mind if you put him up top so I can see him, you can see him, and they're good for the pictures? He said, yeah, no problem. So really chill guy. So his turn 1, he scooches up the Vindicator to get line of sight onto the spawn. These guys scooch up to try and block the Death Shroud from coming in. This guy scooches up just a little bit, nothing crazy. These guys stay where they are, blocking out the backfield. The Assassin moves up to the center to do Area Denial and Marked for Death. So he gets Area Denial for 2 because I still have this guy within 6. So the Poxwalker stops the major Area Denial. This guy runs backwards, so he goes from there all the way back to here. He's got a reactive move. Vindicator sets up for turn 2. Now, if the Vindicator was there prior, he probably could have moved up and shot like these Poxes to try and start shooting them off the table. So again, nothing crazy turn 1. Our turn 2, though, is huge because we have to bring our Death Shroud in now to start like kind of pushing them and keeping them off the objectives. So this is the end of our movement turn 2. We commit Morty to kind of coming up here. He's going to get some shots off on the Vindicator or the Assassin. Nothing else can really see. This guy backs up 6 inches once my Death Shroud, or the Poxes ran up. He moves back 6 inches. So that gives me enough room to get down and kind of get within 6 inches to charge the Vindicator. So him moving back actually hurt a little bit. If he moved up, that could have stopped this guy from coming in from reserves onto the point and the Death Shroud from coming down within 6 inches. So him moving back puts this guy within 6, but if he moved up 6 kind of diagonal this way, that would have pushed this guy out even further and the Death Shroud even further. So if you're really good at staging for Death Shroud and screening him out, that's going to be Death Guard like 80% of the time. Mythic Blighthauler moves up. I want to try and kill this Vindicator and get this guy down as soon as possible, because if I take out the Vindicators, he doesn't have a ton of shooting to kill Morty. If you can kill what can kill Morty, Morty's going to live till probably the end of the game. So we scooch up everybody. These guys come down. I want to get attached to that tank again, so that way if I can stop him from moving, that's one big gun, can't shoot Morty. This guy hopefully will be dead. This guy hopefully will be tied up so he can't shoot. So nothing can shoot Morty. He does rapid this guy in down here with his full blade company. But these guys are holding the point down here. Morty is about to charge into the Assassin, probably not die, and then pile backwards 3 inches to stay out of line of sight. These guys are going to charge into these guys, murder them, and then pile into the tank. If I get a good enough charge, I can charge in, pile in, and my guy on the end, which is my Lord of Contagion, can get a couple swings onto the tank with his lethal and sustain and lance. But I'm kind of ignoring this one for now because he's all the way down in the corner. I don't have to like really commit anything into doing this guy. Everything else is kind of like staging. So really good turn 2. We end up getting the charge off. He rolled a bunch of 4s. I didn't roll a ton. I move up and I did get into the Blade Champion, this guy, and the Vindicator. I put these 2 guys into the Blade Champion. He has a 4-up Feel No Pain, which is nuts. So he lives, I think, on like 2 maybe. He does his Kamehameha once per game, which I didn't know he had, and just fucking nukes, I think, 2 of them. These guys take this guy down to 7. This guy actually, he let me put this guy on the other side instead to be within 9 of this thing. So instead of being on that side, I was like, he doesn't really have a ton of shots. Let me put him on this side instead, which then I'm within 9 to try and do a little bit more damage. So these guys whiffed into trying killing him. I got him down to 3 after that charge, but he does kill one of my Death Shroud in return with the Blade Champion. And this guy got down to 2. So he did 6 dev or something, which killed 1.5 of the Death Shroud. And then he falls back. This guy falls back. These guys get out of the vehicle here, going this way to try and take care of my Death Shroud. These guys, JPI, come down here outside 9, right here. So that way, if they make the charge, they can kind of steal this objective from me. Assassin's dead. We cleared off the center. And then up here, he scooches up his tank. He couldn't get to the spawn. He needed like a 9 or a 10-inch charge. So instead of getting his guys out and then failing the charge, he just moved up his tank to set up for the 3rd turn. So again, that's another whole turn that his tank is kind of out of commission and his guys inside. So he has to wait till turn 3 to bring his guys out to even do anything. What he should have done in this situation was these guys that charged in and killed this unit right here. In his turn, he was able to shoot back and kill most of them. But these guys that are in the tank should have committed up this way, killed these guys, finish them off, right? And then this Death Shroud unit's dead and this Death Shroud unit's dead. So he kills both my Death Shroud units. If he kills both Lord of Contagions in one turn, I can only bring back one. So that would have neutered most of my killing power in my Death Shroud. But instead he kept these guys in. So these guys staying in the tank let me go another turn of like not really worried about dying, especially with Morty being so close right here. So he charges in, kills all but the Lord of Contagion. Lord of Contagion tanked a bunch with his Feel No Pain. And then after that, I was able to scooch up, blow up the vehicle. Morty committed up top here, charged those 6 Death Shroud after shooting a bunch of them. There's only 2 characters and the one character left. The Tech Marine got charged after I blew up this tank. So once this tank died from this Mythic Blight Hauler, this Heavy Blight Launcher, this Heavy Blight Launcher, Morty, grenades, and this guy, I blew that tank up and then I charged to try and pile in down here. So I committed the spawn, these guys ran up to the point, and I tried and block out this way so the tank can't go through me and his guys have to get out on this backside. So that's another turn that the guys inside can't really do anything to be super effective. They can get out and kill these guys, yeah, sure, but he's not now fighting on the point, which you always want to be fighting on the point if you can. So now he's kind of like all the way back in his deployment zone. His deployment zone's here, so now his guys are getting out on turn 3 in his deployment zone. But you can just notice that we're trying to keep him off these 3 objectives, which we're doing very, very well in. The Demon Prince committed up top here to try and deal with the JPI. He shoots some of them, charges them, takes them down to 2, and then charges and kills them. So now the JPI are off the table. So all we have left is 2 characters, 3 characters. The Tech Priest died, so these guys charging in. And he's got a full Blade Guard unit with these guys in the thing here. And now we have a dog. Okay, so this is basically the end of my turn 3. So after this turn, we kind of like just sweep up everywhere. All he has left is these guys in combat with him, this tank with the guys inside in combat there. Morty obviously murdered this guy, the Death Shroud. Lord of Contagion killed the other guy. And we kind of called it there. So on his turn 4 is when we called it. He gets Display a Might, which he can't get. An Attempting Target, which I believe I just pick this one up here. You can pick honestly anyone. So let's just say I pick this one. So I have 1, 2, 3 OPSEC on here. He can't. He could try and commit to the tank, so I probably have to pick this one. So if I pick this one, the only guy who's left on this top section is this guy right here. So this guy right here can't out OC me. So Tempting Target goes up there, and Display Might he gets rid of for behind enemy lines. So behind enemy lines can't get anybody back here. So at that point we kind of just called it, because after this turn 4, it would be my top of turn 5, which I would have got 15 for primary, and then we probably would have tabled by killing this vehicle. Nobody up here would be alive, and now we're camping all the objectives. So end of the game. This was brutal. This was a crazy way to start off LVO. We have 96 to 17. So turn 2, we get 10, and then 15, 15, 15. And then our secondaries, we only had 36 out of 40. Turn 1, we couldn't get anything else besides recover assets. But 3, 6, 9, 9, 9. So pretty good for the secondaries. And then for his turn, he had a 5-point taken hold on turn 2 with his one solo character at the top. And then every other turn, we kept them off the center. And then on turn 3 is when we charged his home field, killed his home field, and then he didn't really have anything left on the home field. Like I said, the one guy's getting out of the vehicles should have moved up, just like the center vehicle moved up to kill the top Death Shroud. The bottom vehicle guy should have moved up and killed that Death Shroud to save his tank and then be on the point. And then the secondaries obviously were pretty bad. He had 2 for Area Denial turn 1. He couldn't get Cleanse or Defend because we took his home field. He kept Defend, but then got rid of it. And then Overwhelming Force and Sabotage, couldn't kill anything. Display of Might, Tempting Target, and then Tempting Target. I mean, so yeah, it was just a rough game. I think it came down to really deployment, right? Deployment could have been a little bit better. And then that one turn of when I committed, he then could have cleared these guys off, or these guys in here could have ran up forward more. So if these guys or back here, if they run forward and kind of like go maybe here, my Death Shrouded now are pushed back even further, which I probably couldn't have got to this tank. So you really using your screens against the Death Shroud are going to be key in most of the games that you play. So, and here, we already went over this guy scouting forward instead of scouting back. That would have saved this Vindicator. So 2 little plays, one there and one here, would have pushed the Death Shroud super far back and would have had to make me change my decisions on where we're actually going. So, but yeah, all in all, great game, awesome opponent. Showed him to the Dirtbag video and the Dirtbag ways, but that was the first game, guys. Hopefully you guys learned a lot from it. Coming up on game 2 is Eldar. Yes, Eldar, I believe. So Eldar is actually a boy guy we played Nova a couple years ago, and ever since we played, I see him at like every single GT. So super awesome dude. This was like a great second game going into LVO, which if you guys have seen my stream, game 3 was fucking brutal. But game 2 into Eldar, day 1 coming up next. All right, guys, like I said, thanks for sticking towards the end. This is all of the merch. We have some options too. You guys can message me one-on-one on Discord if you guys are interested in any of these. We have some proxies that you guys have access to play in the game. We have the Cypher, which is badass. We have the Tech Priest, which usually has Grey Knight bits. We have the Phobos Librarian. We have the Phobos Lieutenant with Combi Weapon. We have the Caldus Assassin, which is one of the best prints we have. The old school Kodias, and now the new Lord of Contagion. You can't get this model anywhere unless you buy some really expensive thing, but the Lord of Contagion, awesome print. That is up for sale as well. The poker chips are great for sticky objectives. Those are coming in packs of 5. Then any of these stickers, usually we throw those in for really high orders, but if you guys want some stickers, you guys can get those as well. Now these widgets, they use them every single game. It's the 6-inch, 4-inch, 2-inch, 3-inch, 1-inch widgets. We are having a special on those. They're only $10. We do have upgraded ones as well with the black 40k Dirtbags logo. So if you guys are interested in any of those, message me. And then lastly, we just updated Rexar Laser's website. They do have laser lines. These are so rare in our community, it's crazy. And the ones that FLG have, they just die so fast. These are so strong, you can see them from across the room. They're insane, but Rexar Lasers are doing the Dirtbags logo on them because they are awesome sponsors of the channel. So head over to them in the description below. And they also have terrain pieces as well, which is if you use the code word Dirtbags in the checkout, you get free shipping on anything over $50. And now my favorite part of it is the merch store that we had set up for about a year now. It's doing very well. I love seeing these at tournaments. I love when you guys come up to me and you have the Dirtbag merch on. This is always updating. So if you guys don't have something, message me. We can always put a new logo up of something that you guys want to purchase. But we just upgraded a couple of the new Chaos stuff on here. But check out, like, they just look so cool. The red, white, and blue logos, they're on hats, they're on shirts. We have a bunch of different options and armies for you guys. You have the little Nurgling logo, which is sick. There's mugs, coffee mugs, which you can fit your whole hand in there, which is super clutch, and a bunch of the 40k Dirtbag logos as well. But like I said, if any stuff you want on here, message me. But this stuff is in the description below in all my videos. This is how you support us and rep the Dirtbags at your local tournaments. What is up, gents? 40k Dirtbags here. If you guys are interested in joining the Dirtbag Nation over at patreon.com, you get a bunch of perks. What we did in 2024 was we really expanded. I had traveled a ton and I played my ass off in 40k. Right now we're ranked #1 best player in the United States on ITC rankings. We were the #1 Chaos Space Marine player in the world
this year in 2024. 2 years ago, we got ranked #1 Grey Knight player in the world, and this year we're probably going to go into Death Guard, hopefully when the new Codex comes out, or Emperor's Children. But you guys, if you guys want that head coach or that coach always in your corner just to ask questions, bounce ideas off, that's what the competitive Dirtbag and the Dirtbag Nation is all about. If you guys want to support the channel, you head over to patreon.com. You can join the Just a Car tab, which is $5 a month. You guys get access to the Discord Patreon tab. You have to be a patron to get into that Discord, and also I'm always there. All the other coaches are there. Basically, it's just such a good community over on Discord that you guys get specific access to it that only Patreons can get. If you guys want to bump that up, the competitive Dirtbag tier, you guys get to message me or another Grandmaster or another Dirtbag coach over the Dirtbag Nation to add unlimited questions, list ideas, list reviews, and bounce ideas off of. That's what's having a coach in your corner is all about. If you guys want to bump up to the Grandmaster tier, that tier you get every perk under the sun. So basically you get access to Discord, you get one-on-one coaching, you get a call once a month if you guys would like to go over any RTTs coming up, any GTs coming up, any list reviews live over Discord chat, and also a special perk that Grandmasters get. If you guys want any video suggestions like we do all the time with these table setup that we just upgraded thanks to the Patreons, you guys get suggestions or battle reports you want to see specifically played live by a coach or myself on the next battle report, or a live battle report coming up on the Patreon. So you guys get obviously first access to all the videos. We post them first on patreon.com, but there's just a ton of benefits to having a professional coach that plays this game all the time at the very, very high competitive level in your corner at all times. And that's really what the Dirtbag Nation is all about, getting you guys better at 40K, the basics, and being good in your community. So if you guys want to support the channel, I really appreciate it. Couldn't have done it without you guys in 2024, 2025. I am super stoked for, super excited for. We really want to get a bigger studio going. That is going to be my focus in 2025, is really growing the community on YouTube and Patreon specifically. So thank you so much for 2024, all my Patreons. If you guys are interested in joining and want that coach in your corner, head over to patreon.com and support the channel. Appreciate it.